Chosen one, listen closely. Allah has singled you out for a reason far greater than you can imagine. Right now, somewhere in the world, a woman is struggling in silence, her heart heavy, her soul weighed down, and her cries unheard by anyone but not by Allah. He is calling you. Yes, you. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, but right now. Your awareness, your courage, and your presence are exactly what is needed at this very moment. This is more than a call to help. It is a divine assignment, a sacred test, and a chance to fulfill the purpose Allah has prepared for you before you even knew it existed. In this video, you will discover 7 powerful lessons that reveal how your actions, prayers, and compassion can become a lifeline for someone in need and a path to unimaginable spiritual reward for you. Open your heart, for Allah is speaking through this moment, and your response will echo far beyond what you can see. Chosen one, the fact that you feel the weight of the world, that you sense the struggles of others even when they remain hidden, is not a coincidence. It is a divine gift, a mark of your spiritual elevation, and a sign that Allah has entrusted you with a unique role in His creation. Many go through life blind to the pain, the desperation, and the silent cries around them, but you have been gifted with perception beyond the ordinary, an awareness that pierces through the veils of the unseen, allowing you to feel, to understand, and to act where others cannot. Yes, it may feel heavy at times, and yes, you may question why Allah placed this sensitivity upon you. Why? Your heart aches for those you cannot immediately reach, but this is not a burden. It is a calling, a privilege, and a responsibility that comes with immense spiritual reward. Every pang of empathy, every restless thought, every tug on your heart to help, to speak, to pray, is Allah preparing you to step into moments that require courage, wisdom, and faith, moments where your presence alone can become a lifeline, a blessing, a means of salvation. Your heightened awareness is also a shield, for it allows you to navigate life with insight, to recognize danger, deceit, and spiritual deception before it touches you or those around you, to act with precision, humility, and mercy, and to be a source of comfort when darkness seems to overwhelm. Do not resent it, do not suppress it, and do not doubt it, for this awareness is a divine compass guiding you to the very people, places, and situations that Allah has designed for you to touch, to influence, and to save. Understand this, chosen one. The world may see your sensitivity as weakness, and others may label your empathy as burden, but in reality, it is a profound strength, a celestial sign that Allah sees you as capable, trustworthy, and ready to carry His mercy to those who need it most. And every moment you act on this awareness, whether through prayer, through support, or through quiet guidance, you are not just helping others, you are fulfilling your purpose, solidifying your spiritual rank, and walking the path of those chosen to be vessels of divine light in a world that desperately needs it, a path that few can comprehend, but that Allah has prepared for you long before you were even born. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply. Every act of sincere help you extend to another, whether it is lifting a burden, comforting a heart, offering guidance, or simply being present in a time of need, is not merely a worldly deed, but an act of worship that Allah Himself recognizes, cherishes, and rewards beyond what the eye can see or the mind can comprehend. In Islam, the value of a good deed is determined by intention, and when your actions come from the place of pure sincerity, devoid of arrogance, expectation, or desire for recognition, they become a direct channel to Allah's mercy and a means to elevate your spiritual station. For the believer who relieves the hardship of another will have their own burdens lifted, their sins forgiven, and their rewards multiplied in ways that the world cannot measure. Helping others is a sacred responsibility, and Allah has chosen you, chosen one, to be an instrument of His guidance, a vessel of His mercy, and a reflection of His compassion. And when you act in this manner, even the smallest gesture carries immense weight in the scales of divine justice, rippling through unseen realms and transforming lives in ways that may never be known to the recipient or to anyone else. Yet Allah knows, and that is what matters most. Do not underestimate the spiritual power embedded in your actions, for a kind word, a gentle touch, a prayer whispered on behalf of someone suffering, or a hand extended to lift someone out of despair can open doors of sustenance, protection, and guidance that you may never witness. But Allah sees and acknowledges each effort, measuring its significance with infinite wisdom and mercy. Recognize that helping others is more than charity or obligation. It is a sacred worship that strengthens your heart, purifies your soul, and aligns your purpose with the divine will, transforming mundane acts into acts of heavenly significance, connecting your earthly existence to the eternal, and engraving your deeds in a record that no injustice, envy, or forgetfulness can erase. Chosen one, when you offer help, you are participating in a divine cycle where mercy begets mercy, where compassion creates ripples that multiply into blessings for yourself, for the person you aid, and for the world at large. And in doing so, you embody the essence of what it truly means to be among those chosen to reflect Allah's attributes on earth. For in the eyes of the Almighty, your actions, intentions, and dedication become a living testament to faith, a bridge between the seen and unseen, and a reminder that true worship is not confined to rituals alone, but is present in every conscious, selfless act that brings relief, hope, and divine light into the life of another human being. Chosen one, know this truth with clarity and conviction. The moments when you feel fear, doubt, or hesitation before stepping forward to help, to speak, or to act are not signs of weakness, nor are they punishments from Allah. They are divine tests, carefully placed to measure your trust, your patience, and your reliance on Him. Allah knows the depth of your heart. He knows the weight of the decisions you carry, and He knows that hesitation is natural when faced with uncertainty, responsibility, or the unknown. Yet He also knows that within you lies the courage, the wisdom, and the compassion to rise above these moments and act in accordance with His will. And it is in the act of moving forward despite fear that your faith is refined, your intentions purified, and your soul elevated to ranks that cannot be reached through comfort or certainty alone. Understand that hesitation is not a flaw. It is a spiritual crucible, a divine opportunity to surrender fully to Allah, to recognize that outcomes are in His hands, and that your duty is to act with sincerity, courage, and unwavering reliance on Him, even when the path is unclear and the risks feel immense. Every second you wrestle with indecision is a moment in which your heart is being tested, your patience examined, and your commitment to divine guidance measured. For the chosen are never those who act only when all signs are certain or when conditions are perfect. They are those who move with faith, who trust that Allah has equipped them with everything needed to fulfill the task placed before them, and who recognize that divine timing, wisdom, and unseen support accompany every step taken in obedience to Him. Hesitation may whisper that you are unprepared, that your efforts may fail, or that the burden is too great, but these whispers are not from Allah. They are the tests that separate the passive from the proactive, the fearful from the faithful, and the ordinary from the chosen. And when you push forward despite these doubts, when you act in love, mercy, and obedience, you are proving not only to yourself, but to Allah, that you are capable of being a vessel of His guidance and a source of His mercy. Remember, chosen one, that the one who hesitates yet acts with trust in Allah is infinitely greater in His sight than one who moves without awareness, without sincerity, or without reliance on Him. For the trials of hesitation are designed to elevate your spirit, sharpen your discernment, and solidify your role as a chosen instrument of divine will. And every step you take through uncertainty, every courageous decision made despite inner fear, becomes a permanent testament to your obedience, your faith, and your readiness to be a source of light, relief, and mercy in a world that desperately needs it, proving that Allah does not measure your worth by confidence alone, but by your courage to act faithfully, consistently, and wholeheartedly in His name. Chosen one, understand this with every fiber of your being. The power of your prayers is greater than you can imagine, capable of shifting destinies, altering circumstances, and reaching places your hands may never touch. And it is in this divine truth that Allah has entrusted you with a sacred responsibility. Every whisper of the heart, every tear shed in sincerity, every plea offered with faith and reliance carries weight in the heavens and has the potential to transform lives in ways unseen. For when you raise your hands and call upon Allah on behalf of someone in need, on behalf of the woman whose struggle is hidden from the world, but not from Him, you are participating in a divine process that connects the visible and invisible, the human and the divine, in a union of mercy and power that transcends ordinary understanding. Do not underestimate the significance of your prayers, for they are not mere words spoken into the air. They are spiritual forces that travel through realms unseen, removing obstacles, providing comfort, and creating openings where none existed before. And while the world may judge your efforts as silent or insignificant, Allah sees the sincerity in your heart, the intention behind each dua, and the purity of your reliance upon Him, and He answers in ways that may not be immediately visible, in ways that are precise, perfect, and tailored to the needs of His creation. Know that sometimes your action may be delayed or limited, but your prayers remain active, dynamic, and potent, becoming a shield, a source of guidance, and a channel for sustenance for those you care for. And this is the beauty of spiritual intervention. While human effort can falter, prayer never fails, for it is a direct line to the Creator, a tool granted to you as one of the chosen to bring change, relief, and divine mercy. Understand also that the true power of your prayers lies in their intention, their purity, and their consistency. For a heart that prays with faith, humility, and unwavering trust in Allah becomes a source of light, hope, and transformation for those whose lives intersect with yours. And this is not limited by distance, circumstance, or apparent impossibility. For Allah's knowledge encompasses all, and His response reaches all. Summit aims in ways mysterious, subtle, and beyond comprehension, yet perfectly timed and infinitely wise. Chosen one, do not underestimate the connection between your spiritual effort and the worldly outcomes it produces. For while your hands may not always act directly, and while you may not always see the immediate fruits of your prayers, your spiritual investment creates ripples in reality, opening doors, shifting hearts, and laying the foundation for divine intervention. And in this lies one of the greatest privileges of being chosen, the ability to participate in Allah's plan through your sincere supplications, your heartfelt cries, and your unwavering belief that He hears, He sees, and He responds. Remember, your prayers are not passive, they are living, moving forces, capable of altering the course of lives, saving those in despair, and bringing the relief that only Allah can provide. And when you pray for this woman, when you beseech Allah to guide, protect, and uplift her, you are not merely expressing hope, you are actively participating in the orchestration of her destiny, in alignment with divine wisdom, and in that, chosen one, you embody the truth that faith expressed through prayer is a weapon, a shield, and a bridge between helplessness and hope, darkness and light, despair and relief, and that through your consistent, sincere, and unwavering dua, mountains of difficulty are moved, hearts are healed, and the mercy of Allah is made tangible in a world that so desperately needs it. Chosen one, listen carefully, for this lesson carries the weight of divine wisdom, THT. And only the spiritually awakened can fully comprehend. The true measure of your deeds, the real depth of your impact, is not found in applause, acknowledgement, or recognition from the people around you, but in the knowledge that Allah alone sees your intentions, your struggles, and the sincerity with which you act. Too often, the world teaches us to seek validation, to measure our worth by likes, praise, or approval, and yet the chosen are those who understand that worldly recognition is fleeting, hollow, and ultimately meaningless when compared to the eternal rewards that Allah bestows upon those who act purely for His sake. And it is in the silence of selfless service, in the unseen efforts that nobody notices, and in the sacrifices made without fanfare or credit, that the soul experiences the highest elevation, the spirit achieves the greatest refinement, and the heart becomes a vessel worthy of carrying divine light. Understand, chosen one, that when you extend your hand to help someone in need, when you pray for the suffering, when you act to lift burdens without expectation of thanks, you are participating in a sacred exchange between your intention and Allah's infinite mercy, and the universe itself bends in subtle ways to honor your humility, to multiply your reward, and to prepare you for even greater responsibilities that lie ahead, unseen and unimaginable to those around you. This is the essence of being chosen, to act in alignment with divine purpose, without attachment to recognition, to embrace the quiet victories, and to remain steadfast when the world is on a pause. Aware of the good you are accomplishing, for Allah is fully aware, and His acknowledgement outweighs the entire world. His reward surpasses the highest human praise, and His timing ensures that every hidden effort will yield results far beyond what the heart can imagine, whether in this life or the next. The higher rank comes not from visibility but from sincerity, not from attention but from devotion, and not from worldly applause, but from the quiet, unshakable connection to Allah that grows stronger each time you act with pure intention, knowing that your deeds are recorded, appreciated, and blessed by the one who sees all, knows all, and judges all with absolute justice and infinite mercy. Chosen one, consider this: when you perform an act of kindness, a gesture of support, or a moment of sacrifice without anyone noticing, you are participating in a divine reality where your humility becomes your armor, your sincerity becomes your strength, and your reward becomes immeasurable. For Allah does not measure the deed by the eyes that witness it, but by the heart that performs it, and the one who knows your soul, your intentions, and your hidden struggles will multiply your reward in ways that cannot be counted, offering protection, guidance, and blessings that reach far beyond the scope of human understanding. The unseen actions you take for the sake of mercy, justice, compassion, and faith are like seeds planted in the soil of eternity, and while the world may never know, these seeds will bear fruits that echo in countless lives, creating ripples of relief, hope, and transformation that extend far beyond what the eye can perceive. And it is in this quiet, steadfast, and selfless service that your spiritual rank is elevated, your soul is purified, and your connection with Allah is strengthened. For the true chosen are those who act not for recognition, but because Allah has commanded goodness, and because their hearts cannot bear to remain idle when they have the power, means, and guidance to be instruments of His mercy. Remember, chosen one, every moment you act without expectation of praise, every silent prayer offered on behalf of another, every unseen gesture of mercy, every sacrifice made in humility, these are the moments when Allah draws you closer, when He elevates your station, and when He reveals the profound truth that to serve without recognition is to step into the highest rank of obedience, faith, and divine favor, a place reserved for those whom He has chosen to be beacons of His light in a world desperate for mercy, guidance, and hope. And it is here, in the quiet, unnoticed, yet profoundly impactful actions, that your soul finds its true purpose, your character is forged, and your destiny as a chosen one unfolds exactly as Allah intended. Chosen one, understand this truth with every fiber of your being, the compassion that flows from your heart, the mercy that guides your actions, and the genuine empathy that allows you to feel the pain and struggles of others is not merely a human emotion, it is a reflection of Allah's light within you, a divine spark entrusted to you, because He knows your heart can bear the weight of His love, and His guidance, and it is through this light that you are able to illuminate the darkest corners of human suffering, bring hope to the hopeless, and act as a living mirror of His mercy in a world that is often blind to the cries of the oppressed, the downtrodden, and the forgotten. This compassion is not a coincidence or a product of mere circumstance. It is a spiritual gift, a divine signature that marks you as one of the chosen, capable of translating divine mercy into tangible action. And it is through these acts of mercy, big or small, that you align yourself with the will of Allah, proving that the chosen are not those who only possess knowledge, power, or status, but those whose hearts are tender, whose intentions are pure, and whose actions are guided by divine love. Every kind word spoken, every comforting gesture made, every effort to ease the suffering of another is an act that mirrors Allah's attributes. And when you act from this place of divine compassion, you are not merely helping someone, you are participating in a sacred cycle in which Allah's mercy flows through you into the world, transforming despair into hope, darkness into light, and fear into courage. Do not underestimate the power of your empathy, for your ability to feel and act on behalf of others is a sign of spiritual elevation, a mark of divine favor, and a tool of unimaginable influence. For the ripple effects of your compassion extend far beyond what the human eye can see, touching lives in ways that may never be known to you, yet are fully witnessed by Allah. And it is this witnessing that validates, strengthens, and multiplies your efforts in ways that the world cannot measure. Know, chosen one, that compassion is not weakness, nor is it a liability. It is the very essence of spiritual power, the mark of those whom Allah trusts to be instruments of His guidance, mercy, and justice. And it is through acts of compassion that you draw closer to Him, purify your heart, and solidify your role as a beacon of His light. For the divine recognizes and honors the sincerity of a heart that acts selflessly, without desire for recognition, reward, or status. And this alignment with divine will elevates you above ordinary human understanding, placing you in the ranks of those who embody the attributes of Allah in both intention and action. Every act of compassion is also a shield, protecting you from arrogance, pride, and spiritual blindness, reminding you that true greatness is measured not by wealth, influence, or power, but by the capacity of your heart to feel deeply, act selflessly, and remain steadfast in mercy even when the world is cruel, indifferent, or hostile. And it is in these moments of choosing compassion over convenience, mercy over judgment, and action over apathy that you fulfill your role as one of the chosen, becoming a vessel through which Allah's light flows uninterrupted into the lives of those who need it most. Understand, too, that compassion requires courage, for to feel deeply is to risk pain, disappointment, and rejection. Yet the chosen do not shy away from this risk, because they know that every act of mercy performed in sincerity is a form of worship, a source of spiritual elevation, and a channel of divine blessing that impacts both the giver and the receiver in profound ways, often in dimensions that remain unseen to the human eye, but are fully recorded in the knowledge of Allah. This is the essence of being chosen, to have your heart tuned to the frequency of divine love, to act not for recognition but because mercy is a mandate embedded within your soul, to serve others not out of obligation, but out of a recognition that each act of compassion is a reflection of Allah's presence in the world, and to understand that the more you embody this divine light, the greater your spiritual responsibility becomes, for you are entrusted with guiding, uplifting, and protecting those who cannot protect themselves, soothing the hearts that are broken, and standing as a living testament to Allah's mercy in a world that desperately needs it. And in doing so, you not only fulfill your purpose, but also inspire countless others to recognize that true strength lies not in domination, wealth, or influence, but in the quiet, relentless, and unwavering practice of mercy and compassion, which transforms ordinary lives into testimonies of divine love, ordinary moments into acts of worship, and ordinary human beings into vessels of Allah's eternal light, reminding us all that the chosen are chosen not because they are immune to hardship or beyond weakness, but because their hearts are capable of holding the light of Allah, reflecting it, and using it to change the world in ways that only He can measure, multiply, and bless. And that every action taken with a compassionate heart, every prayer offered for someone else, every kind gesture extended to those in need is a mirror reflecting the divine, a pathway to spiritual elevation, and a legacy of mercy that will endure beyond this life into the eternal presence of Allah, where the full impact of your compassion will be revealed in ways unimaginable, proving that those who act from divine love truly live among the highest ranks of the chosen. Chosen one, understand this deeply, for this lesson carries the weight of a divine command. The exact moment you feel the pull to act, the call to assist, or the inner urgency to respond to someone in need is not random. It is orchestrated by Allah Himself, and the now you sense is divinely chosen, perfectly timed, and imbued with opportunities, consequences, and blessings that only the Almighty can measure. Too often, we allow hesitation, doubt, fear, or distraction to delay our response, thinking that tomorrow, or next week, or when circumstances are convenient, is the right time. Yet Allah places each moment in our lives with perfect wisdom, knowing that delays, inaction, or postponement can alter outcomes, diminish mercy, or obscure blessings that are intended to flow through us at that exact point in time. And He tests the chosen not to punish them, but to measure their readiness, their courage, and their faith in His divine orchestration. When you feel the urgency to help, to speak, to pray, or to act on behalf of a woman in need, a family struggling, or a situation that seems beyond human intervention, recognize that this urgency is a divine signal, a call to rise above complacency, a reminder that your actions are part of a larger tapestry woven by Allah, in which your timing, your choices, and your willingness to step forward are critical elements in manifesting mercy, relief, and guidance. Chosen one, do not mistake procrastination for prudence. hesitation for wisdom, or delay for inevitability, for the one who responds to the divine call with immediacy, sincerity and faith is the one whose actions will align with Allah's will, opening doors, shifting hearts, and creating outcomes that are unimaginable, while the one who waits for a more convenient moment risks missing the precise opportunity Allah has prepared, for divine timing is exact, flawless, and beyond human manipulation. Understand that urgency does not mean recklessness, but rather a heightened spiritual awareness that compels you to act in alignment with your purpose, your abilities, and your connection to Allah. And it is through responding to this urgency that you participate in the fulfillment of destinies, the relief of burdens, and the spreading of mercy exactly when it is needed most, often in ways that may remain unseen to human eyes, yet are fully witnessed in the divine realm, recorded and multiplied in reward beyond comprehension. Consider this, chosen one. When Allah places a moment in your life where your presence, your prayer, or your action can change the course of someone's suffering, He is trusting you, elevating you, and offering you the opportunity to embody His mercy in a tangible way, to be the instrument through which hope, healing, and divine guidance flow into the life of another. And this opportunity is often fleeting, delicate, and precise, requiring immediate recognition, decisive action, and unwavering reliance on Him. For delay or hesitation can shift the balance between despair and relief, darkness and light, hopelessness and renewed faith. Every urgent call you feel is a test of your awareness, your obedience, and your spiritual readiness. And it is in this alignment with divine timing that the chosen demonstrate their readiness to serve, to lead, and to act as vessels of Allah's will on earth, proving that their presence, insight, and courage are not accidental but divinely prepared, meticulously planned, and essential to the fulfillment of His mercy and justice. Do not wait for confirmation from the world. Do not postpone action for personal convenience, and do not underestimate the significance of the now, for every moment carries immense weight, and every action taken in perfect timing becomes part of a spiritual chain that transforms lives, opens doors of sustenance and protection, and creates blessings that extend far beyond what human perception can measure. Chosen one, recognize that your response to urgency is a reflection of your faith, a measure of your sincerity, and a testament to your readiness to fulfill the divine purpose entrusted to you before you were even born. And when you act immediately, with courage, compassion, and reliance on Allah, you are participating in a divine plan that stretches beyond time, beyond sight, and beyond human comprehension, ensuring that your deeds, prayers, and presence become instruments of mercy, guidance, and hope exactly when they are needed most. The urgency of now is not pressure. It is a gift, a signal, and a sacred invitation from Allah Himself, and in responding without hesitation, with faith and humility, you fulfill the very essence of being chosen, becoming a living manifestation of divine timing, mercy, and purpose, proving that when the call is felt and the heart is ready, mountains can be moved, lives can be changed, and the light of Allah can shine through you in ways that will echo eternally, impacting countless souls, transforming despair into hope, darkness into light, and demonstrating that the chosen are not chosen merely to exist, but to act decisively, faithfully, and compassionately when the moment calls, because the now is never random, the timing is never accidental, and your response has the power to fulfill the will of Allah in ways that are both immediate and eternal, unseen yet profoundly real, hidden yet gloriously impactful. And it is in recognizing and responding to this divine urgency that your role as a chosen one is fully realized, your soul elevated, and your actions transformed into eternal testimonies of mercy, faith, and obedience, proving that every heartbeat, every prayer, every step taken in alignment with the call of now is a reflection of Allah's perfect plan and an embodiment of the divine purpose for which you were chosen. Chosen one, now you see the truth. Allah has placed you in this world, not by accident, not for convenience, but for purpose, for mercy, and for moments like this, moments where your awareness, your compassion, your prayers, and your courage can change the life of someone who is unseen, unheard, and desperate for help. Each lesson you've absorbed today is a reminder that your actions matter, your heart matters, and your presence is a channel through which divine light flows into the world. Do not wait for recognition, do not delay in doubt, and do not underestimate the power of a single step taken in sincerity. The woman who needs your help, the soul crying in silence, the heart burdened with struggles you may never fully see, they are all part of the divine plan, and Allah is calling you to respond with faith, mercy, and unwavering courage. Remember, your prayers can move mountains, your compassion can illuminate darkness, and your actions, even when unseen, are counted, recorded, and multiplied by Allah in ways beyond imagination. Rise to this calling, chosen one, and let your life be a testament to divine mercy, a beacon of hope, and a reminder that those whom Allah chooses are never ordinary. They are instruments of change, light, and guidance in a world that desperately needs it. The moment is now, the call is clear, and the responsibility is yours. Answer it, act on it, and know that Allah sees, He knows, and He is with you every step of the way. Let your heart move, let your hands act, and let your faith shine, for you are among the chosen, and your response will create ripples of mercy, relief, and transformation that will last far beyond this life.